ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I want to talk about something important in business. And I think that this is something that's going to be extremely important for many of you guys because you still don't seem to understand the importance of it. Okay? And it's something that if you understand the importance of, you will win at the game of business. So it's about first impressions. First impressions, they matter. First impressions are extremely important. How people perceive you to be is how you are, right? So you have the ability to dictate that perception by influencing what is perceived, which is you. You are the object that is being perceived, and you are the controller of that object in some way, shape, or form. So in some way, shape, or form, you have the ability to control how you are perceived. If two different individuals, are standing in front of me, one is obese, one is extremely fit, one is smelly, the other one smells nice, one has no money, the other one has a bank account full of money, one has no friends, the other one has a ton of friends, one is smiling and with a good attitude, but they're not attractive in any way, shape, or form. The other one, same thing, great attitude, has money, but when you look at the object, they're well composed in many facets and areas of life. The reason why I mention these two is because people seem to think that all that people care about is money. Right? So we end up acquiring this money, and then we realize that all we have is money. We don't really have a whole lot else. So then we kind of have to revert back to refiguring everything out and spending more time and more money in order to become well-rounded. So if the purpose of life isn't to make money, right? If that isn't the purpose of life, not that it isn't an important factor of life, but it's not the essence of your existence, then what is, right? And that's something that you have to sit down and define clearly. And the entire premise when Capital Club opens this summer is to kind of give you that guidance, right? So when you're like, okay, how do I want to become X, Y, and Z? Perfect. Well, whatever it is that you want to become in the business space, entrepreneurial space, Capital Club designed an academy to kind of help you get there, to become well-rounded and full stack. So, but that's beside the point. You'll have the necessary tools coming this summer inside Capital Club. But the point here is you need to be able to be multifaceted and well-rounded, but you need to identify, what do you want, right? Like, that's the first thing. So what do you want to look like? What do you want to drive? How much money do you want to have? Right? You can't have that which you don't know that you need. Okay? Let me say that again. You can't have that which you don't know or have no interest in having. Right? It's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. So you need to begin deciphering these things and then working towards obtaining them, right? Because in the change of self, right, you change the exterior by changing the interior, and then you impact perception of your worldview, right, and how people perceive you. So, like sometimes I just simple shit, guys. Like look right now, go to the mirror. Whatever time of the day it is, go to the mirror. Okay? I'll give you a few seconds as you walk to the mirror, closest mirror, or pull up your phone and pull up the camera app. I don't know if you can do this at the same time. If you can't do it at the same time, go to a physical mirror. Anyways, now that you're at a physical mirror, find one. Smile and look at your teeth, right? Are they clean? Like clean. Does your breath smell good? Right? When you smile, which is one of the first things people see, what do they see? And then have an honest conversation with yourself on how to improve it. and you'll make more money. No, it's not correlated, Luke. It's impossible that it's correlated. But what if I told you that it is correlated? At 6:37 in the morning, as someone who really cares and has figured out, right, the fullness of the completion of the package. I haven't unlocked all the things yet, but I've understood that unlocking all the things is the necessary step in order to get to the next level. The character levels up, and the game levels up and unlocks itself at the pace of the character. You can't go to a level 99 as a level 10 and win. It's impossible, right? So you got to suit up, gear up, gain experience, side quests, travel, gain coin. There's a lot of different things you have to do, right? And the race, the hero's journey is your own, right? You're not, when you're playing, the game, you're not worrying about somebody else. Like, fuck, bro. Like, why are you watching anybody else, right? Any other player character that's running around the game, watching what they do. Watch what they do so that you can shortcut, not so you can get jealous, but that's a conversation for another time. So now that you've established the goal, Capital Club will help equip you. We've already discussed that, so I'll see you guys this summer. Get your credit cards out, $369, $1 a day, less than the price of motherfucking coffee. Crazy. I think I'll make a video telling you guys a story about coffee time and why I priced Capital Club at less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. You go to Starbucks today, you order a black coffee, it's like $3, and it's like the most basic small cup of coffee. And if you could have the ecosystem around you to help you get to where you want to go in every aspect of life for less than the price of a cup of coffee, would you do it? And the answer is yes. So I'll see you guys this summer. It's going to be really, really good. But anyways, back to the point. Now that you have your goal established, you need to set up the processes to achieve the skill sets and the resources required to get to the next level. All right? You can't have that which you don't know that you need or that you don't actively pursue. It doesn't just fall on your lap. You need to be extremely lucky or opportunistic. Okay? It's better to rely on probabilities, and you increase your probabilities by increasing your odds of positioning, 1, 2, of knowledge, 2, and 3 of resources, right? So the tools and necessary items along the way that can facilitate and supplement my journey. That's the first thing, the plan. 2, the network. What are the key people that I need in my life in order to get to the place where I want to be? Right, so what do I need? So you need to sit down. Listen to me, motherfucker. I'm not here wasting my time at 6:40 in the morning. You should be taking notes. I'm teaching you how to live literally like a multimillionaire. I'm teaching you, as I unlock the levels, I share with you, hey, like, this is maybe the next level. And then you can take it, implement it if it serves you, but damn, bro, this is some game. So you need to identify the lifestyle that you want, who you want to become, right? I'm giving you guys a game. So imagine the person that you want to be. Now that you've pictured this person, the clearer the better, because now you have to establish goals towards that clarity. So in your fitness, in your diet, in your relationships, in your mindset, in your health, in your finances, in your networking, in your, I don't know, any sort of skill set that you fit in that block, you name it. And ask yourself, what are the key people in my life that I need in order to get to this accomplishment? So let's say my goal is to win, right, the World Cup. Right, the FIFA World Cup. Everybody knows the FIFA World Cup. Let's say the goal is for me to win the FIFA World Cup. Okay, perfect. Well, what do I need to do? Well, I need to assemble the team, right? Like, I could legit, if I focus the next 40 years of my career, I could right now go into football, become a coach, and go host a team at a World Cup. Low chance of winning, low chance of doing it, but possible if you follow the plan, right? It's 40 years, it's a long fucking time. Or I could become a player, right? Those are the two options. Obviously, I can't become a player, I'm too old, but I'm still young enough, I could become a coach, right? So the scenario is, what do I need in order to achieve that goal? I know it's an ambiguous goal. Well, I need a team, right? So I need the national team, I need the players, I need the bench, I need the fitness coaches, I need the cooks, I need the lawyers, I need the bus driver, like all this logistics, right? To what? To appropriate a lifestyle or the accomplishment of a goal, right? So once you've established the goal, now you need to identify the key people in your life. Okay, so I'm an online entrepreneur. I want to optimize my day in an efficient manner. Okay, perfect. What does it mean to optimize my day efficiently? I write that down. What does optimization look like? What do I not like to do that I dread to do every single day that I need to hire somebody to do on my behalf? You need to start treating yourself like a business, because you are a business, right? The government perceives you and your business entities the same way, as units, right? Units, not autonomous individuals with rights, okay? As units. So you need to treat yourself the same way as a company, right? The personhood. Anyways, so now you end up being in a situation whereby, let's say, I'll give you guys an ideal lifestyle for a digital entrepreneur, right? Something that's doable. An ideal lifestyle, right? You build some sort of cash flow, whether it's, let's say you have no money, right? I'm giving you a game plan. You need to work at a job that allows you, right, to get paid in proportion to solving problems or to providing solutions. So you would do a job like sales, right? So if you're an introvert, do sales online. That requires you closing people online. You can do it through text. There's plenty of businesses that allow you to do that, which is an opportunity, especially if you do it well. Now with ChatGPT, you can build a ton of sales scripts, so you can split test a ton of scripts. But you would want to get into something that allows you to make money in proportion to your output. So you don't want to have a fixed salary, because you do not want to ever be trading your time for a check. That's the quickest way to stay poor. So once you've come to terms with jumping over the bridge of the fear of failure, right? That's the first failure. The failure of being unable to sustain yourself and make money. That fear comes from what? Incompetence. Your fear is stemmed directly from your incompetence. I'm going to tweet that. Once you develop your competence, and the way that you develop your competence is through repetition and knowledge acquisition. Repetition and knowledge acquisition. So through repetition, right, consistently doing this, a consistent behavior for a long period of time will develop a habit. And two, the learning pattern attached to how to develop that habit appropriately is essential, right? So you need the knowledge of time and research and of execution, right? So that you can refine the craft. But once you've refined the craft of the necessary skill sets to develop, like, let's say, sales, there's people out there selling a company, right, for $1 billion. There's people out there, you're building value to sell for $1 billion. Guys, when you're going out and getting a gig, you are selling your services. You need to understand that you're selling your fucking time, selling your services, right? So you need to increase the value of your service by becoming better and developing the skill sets. That's why you need to become well-rounded. That's why Capital Club exists, right? So hype, so fucking hype. But anyways, 647, 15-minute data set, pretty crazy. Once you develop the network, right? First you develop the goal, second you develop the network. Who's appropriate that's going to be beneficial for me to get into this group and help me accomplish my goals. Better to do it with others than to do it and figure out by yourself. That's what I learned. That's what I'm doing. Like, it fucking works. And then finally execute, right? So you need to be able to put in the work, put in the hours to make that process work. And with goal setting, with hours of input of time, and with a network, it's pretty doable to achieve anything that you want if you set your mind to it. So back to my story, my example of a situation of how I would approach life if I had nothing. I would, buy 10 books on sales, or download 10 free ones on Amazon or some shit. There's probably plenty of them. Maybe read 10 books on psychology, 10 books on closing, 10 books on neuro-linguistic programming, and then 10 books on random topics, right, of your choosing. That's 1 year, right? So go find a job, right, for the next 12 months. Sustain yourself by living cheap for a year. Read a book a week. Develop, for 12 months, and then go get a job in sales. If you're not rushing, right? If you're not trying to be the 17-year-old with a Lambo in Miami, like, there's no reason. Then you end up kind of just chilling, and you work out of a chill place with a plan. And sometimes the plan takes time, and that's just okay, right? You can circle back to things appropriately. So 12 months, develop the skill set, develop a base bankroll, not spend, right? Have a goal, no vacation. 12 months, save up 30 grand, right? Gives you the 20 grand. If you can't save 20 grand direct hustle in 12 months, like, bro, you have some serious trouble, especially if you live in a first world country. Even if in a third world country, bro, with the internet, it's crazy. But anyways, 12 months, then I would get a job in sales for 2 years. Learn how to sell, learn how to market, learn how to scale inside an organization, get in the trenches, learn, grow, and then I would start a business. I would have enough money, I would have enough capital, I would know how uncomfortable it is to sell, but how necessary it is, because selling provides cash, and cash provides the lifeblood of the business. And the business is what carries the vision, right? So the business can't die. And if money's feeding it, then you have to give it money. So you have to understand how to sell, right? Which I will be teaching you guys how to sell inside Capital Club. So do not fret. You're going to be taught by guys that have been closing for Hormozy, Alex Becker, Ty Lopez, a lot of the big dogs in the space, or former big dogs. Teach you guys how to sell, right? So that'll be covered. And then I would build a business. And throughout those 2 years, right, I would learn how to build a business. How to build a business. Right? Accounting, the basics of human resources, taxing, marketing, supply chain management if you're going into something physical, branding, a plethora of niches, real estate. I would just learn a little bit of everything on how to become a really good business owner. And then I would launch my business. And then I would take my 1 year of regular job experience accrued. I would take my 2 years in sales experience. And then, of course, in those 2 years, my business, my, knowledge into application, because a lot of entrepreneurs go into entrepreneurship thinking that they know shit just because they can make 50 grand in a month running a Shopify store. Like, bro, you don't know anything. Like, you really don't. If I was to sit down and quiz you in business, you wouldn't know anything, because I don't know anything. You know what I mean? So like, I understand how complex this game is. And when you position yourself with humility, you just run the same cycle in loops. You just run it at bigger scales. But that's for another time. I'll teach you guys how to scale loops in a different data set. This is quite a big data set, 21 minutes. This could have been a video. But anyways, it might be too much game for a video. Should I cancel this recording? I don't know, bro. This shit's crazy. Anyways, so that's the equation. That would be my plan. Then I launch my business, focus on building IP. That's the first thing that I would do. Build IP. The value of IP. IP gives, first to know if you want a business for cash flow, if you want to raise money, if you want to sell, if you want to go public. Like, you need to know what kind of your intention is so you can study in accordance to that. There's multiple paths there. I personally, for maximum freedom, if that's in my peripherals, I would not raise money or raise internally or raise from investors that aren't really down my throat, if necessary. But ideally, I have enough cash flow from 2 years of sales, at least 50 to 100 grand saved up to start my own business, right? You can start a business for free nowadays. Maybe you have a couple $1,000s saved up, you can do extremely well. But, right, you can always use other people's money. But anyways, then I would just start my business. And I would be in a situation whereby I would focus on IP, right? If your goal is to sell, if your goal is to kind of build something long term, or I would focus on cash flow. And these would be the two kind of things that I would look at. If you want to be a cash flow business, or if you want to be a business that, builds IP, builds product, and kind of like raises sales or IPOs, or if you just want to do the private route, build a cash machine. I prefer making $6 million in a quarter than making $60 million in a quarter and having to render accounts to somebody, right, of how my performance is going. Because there's always a bigger fish, right? So I do not want to just go back into the rat race as a bigger rat. So I prefer making a lot less money and doing whatever the fuck I want than making a lot more money and have to be answering phone calls and having to hold massive accountability to a massive amount of people like you would in a publicly traded company, right? I don't want that pressure. That to me is not the lifestyle that I'm pursuing. Even though we are going to teach people how to scale companies, exit companies, IPO inside Capital Club, that'll be good for you guys as well. Even how to raise money. There's going to be some fucking crazy content. I have an exclusive conversation that I did with a gentleman. You'll see it inside Capital Club, who helped Grab raise a $270 million round. Then I think he subsequently helped them raise almost $1 billion, which is crazy. So you guys will be hearing from him how to raise, how to kind of like position your pitch, crazy shit. But anyways, so once you select the approach of the business there, then you have to scale towards that. And I think it's a 5-year plan. But I mean, 5 years goes by really quickly. People want to tell you how to make money in 30 days. Nobody's out here teaching you how to sustain that shit, bro. One thing is to do a fucking $20,000 day on Shopify. Another thing is to consistently do $20,000 a day on Shopify. Learn how to build wealth, learn how to build influence, learn how to make money, learn how to have a ton of different aspects of life that are well developed. And that's why Capital Club is completely different to anything else that you've ever seen in your life. because I have cracked what I believe to be the code to a full stack entrepreneur. And I'm going to show you guys how to do it. So anyways, see you guys when the Capital Club opens this summer. That was the data set for today. 25 fucking minutes. 6:57 a.m. Have a great weekend. Love you guys. Luke Belmar, out.